The horizon stretched like a line drawn by light itself, clear, endless, and calm. Beneath it rested the gleaming body of MSC Grandiosa, a vessel so vast that it seemed to float between reality and imagination. Cameras clicked, luggage rolled across the polished harbor stones, and a quiet hum of excitement rippled through the air. The world was watching this voyage, the largest civilian cruise of the season. A week-long journey through the Mediterranean, promising luxury, leisure, and the whisper of the unknown. The ship was not merely a cruise liner. It was a city sculpted in steel and glass. Her decks were layered like stories in a novel, each revealing a different world. At sunrise, light danced on the mirrored balconies. The name Grandiosa shimmered in gold letters across her hull, proud and silent. Journalists described her as the ocean's heartbeat, a fusion of architecture and dream. Yet few among the thousands boarding that morning imagined that this voyage would soon be remembered not for its comfort, but for the mystery that would unfold at sea. By sunrise, the Grandiosa had vanished from every coastline, nothing but horizon ahead and behind. From a distance, she looked unreal, a fragment of civilization adrift upon the blue. Yet within her hull pulsed the rhythm of a living city. The air conditioning breathed like wind through invisible streets, elevators whispered like veins of motion, and thousands of people moved as though connected by a single invisible current of leisure. The third morning of the voyage rose in muted silver light. A calm ocean surrounded the Grandiosa, smooth as glass without wind or current. To those aboard, it felt like peace, too perfect to question. But to the crew, it was strange. The Mediterranean rarely slept this still. Not a ripple, not a sound beyond the steady breathing of the engines. The ship's daily rhythm resumed with practiced ease. Breakfast service opened on the upper deck, where sunlight spilled across white linen tables. The smell of baked croissants mixed with salt air. Musicians played soft acoustic tunes near the café's terrace. Passengers smiled, oblivious to the fact that the vessel's sensors had been recalibrated twice since midnight. Night fell. The concert began. Music rolled through the decks, voices rose, and laughter returned. On the open terraces, people clinked glasses beneath a ceiling of stars. From above, the Grandiosa looked serene, her lights a trail of constellations across the water. Yet below, in the unseen corridors, the crew moved quietly, inspecting sensors, adjusting equipment, checking logs. One technician paused near the hull window of Deck 2. Outside, the sea was black and still. And then for a moment, he saw it, a faint flicker of luminescence spiraling upward from the deep, like a breath of blue fire. It began just past midnight. The Grandiosa sailed through a sky so clear that stars looked close enough to touch. Then, without warning, every light aboard flickered once, then died. Music, laughter, and machinery fell silent in an instant. Darkness consumed the vessel. The massive ship drifted, motionless, its engines mute. Only the soft hiss of waves pressed against its hull. For a few seconds, no one moved. Then murmurs began, confused, nervous, uncertain. The calm perfection of the voyage shattered like glass. From the bridge, officers scrambled through backup protocols. All systems showed active, yet nothing responded. Communication lines to the mainland cut off mid-signal. It was as if the ship had been unplugged from the world. The captain's voice remained steady. Stay calm. Backup generators will engage. But they didn't. Not for nearly 7 minutes. And in that silence, the passengers heard it, the low hum again. A resonance that came not from within the ship, but from the sea itself. Deep, pulsing, rhythmic. Some described it as music without instruments. Others said it was like a heartbeat beneath the water. When the lights finally returned, the ocean around them glowed faintly blue, as though illuminated from below. The hum ceased. Systems rebooted. The Grandiosa resumed her path, flawless once more. But something had changed. From that night forward, the sea no longer felt empty. It felt aware. The next morning, calm returned, but not certainty. Crew members worked quietly, eyes a little more cautious than before. Rumors spread among passengers, whispers of an unlisted deck, a level that didn't appear on any map. Some claimed they'd seen a locked stairwell near the maintenance corridors, marked only with a number, Deck 0. Curiosity grew. In a ship built for transparency, secrecy felt impossible, yet something about that sealed door felt deliberate. Engineers denied its existence. No such level, they said. But surveillance logs later showed 2 crew members entering that same corridor at dawn and never reappearing on camera. Passengers speculated: storage, research, private suites for investors. The truth was simpler and stranger. Deck Zero wasn't meant for people. It housed a subsystem monitoring deep-sea frequencies, a classified experiment installed during construction. Few aboard even knew it existed. By the 4th night, the ocean had changed color. What was once deep blue now shimmered with faint streaks of silver, visible even in darkness. Passengers leaned over railings, whispering about the glowing sea. Cameras captured the strange beauty, but no one could explain it. Inside the restricted control bay, known only to a few, the readings grew stranger. The sensors from Deck Zero showed structured frequencies emerging from beneath the hull. Not random noise, but organized waves, sequences repeating every 6 minutes, identical each time. Analysts compared them to Morse code, oceanic sonar, even whale song. None matched. Each transmission ended with a distinct harmonic rise, 5 ascending tones that mirrored the hum heard during the blackout. "It's as if something below is answering us," one technician murmured. Outside, the ship's wake began to form spirals, faint but visible from above, patterns too symmetrical to be natural. The crew marked the coordinates, but when the Grandiosa moved on, the spirals remained, glowing gently like inscriptions written on water. At dusk, the lookout spotted it first, a reflection on the horizon, identical to the Grandiosa herself. Another ship sailing parallel yet invisible on radar. Passengers gathered, watching 2 silhouettes glide side by side, one real, one spectral. Cameras failed to focus. Lenses blurred as if the sea refused to reveal the truth. For almost an hour, the mirage followed, every motion mirrored perfectly, until the sun sank completely. Then, without warning, the twin faded into the darkness, leaving only calm waves behind. Some called it a vision, others a warning. The ocean offered no answer. Morning arrived with sudden clarity. The strange lights below had vanished, and the ship's instruments finally stabilized. Scientists aboard analyzed the recorded data and uncovered the truth. The signals were not artificial, but magnetic waves from a rare oceanic field, an ancient phenomenon that resonated like music through metal hulls. The hum was nature speaking in its own frequency. Relief spread across the decks. The mystery hadn't been danger, but discovery, a reminder of how little humanity truly knows the sea. That evening, the Grandiosa came alive again, not just with power, but with spirit. The decks glowed under golden lights, music drifted from the concert hall, and laughter returned to the air. The ship that had once fallen silent now pulsed with renewed energy, as if the sea itself had granted permission to celebrate. Passengers gathered on the open terrace, watching the horizon burn orange beneath the setting sun. Waves shimmered peacefully, reflecting the ship's lights like scattered stars. The captain raised a quiet toast. To mystery, to the ocean, and to the voyage that reminds us, we are always guests of the sea. And as night descended, Grandiosa moved forward, her path now calm, her purpose clear. Weeks later, when the Grandiosa returned to port, stories of the singing sea spread across the world. Scientists published reports, travelers shared videos, and documentarians framed it as a rare encounter between technology and nature. Yet no recording truly captured what it felt like, the silence, the hum, the unseen heartbeat of the deep. For many aboard, the mystery became a quiet awakening. It reminded them that even in an age of satellites and sensors, some parts of the world remain untamed, unknowable, and alive. The Grandiosa sailed again months later, her hull gliding over familiar waters. But those who were there swore the ocean sounded different, gentler, almost welcoming. Gentler, almost welcoming.